Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Chaos Head. And where we left off in the last episode, Takumi Nishijo had managed to track down a potential D-Sword over in this very run-down shop known as Town Vanguard. However, the possibility is pretty much in favor of the fact that this particular D-Sword in question is nothing more than a cheap imitation. But Takumi Nishijo has acquired it to the price of 10,000 yen along with a knockoff bangle to boot. And, well, he has to lug it all the way back from Town Vanguard to his home base at the heart of Shibuya. And, of course, but I'd already paid, and the clerk fiercely refused to let me perform a return. No exchanges, or what was it again? No substitutions, exchanges, or refunds. No money-back guarantee. This was a pretty intense type of humiliation play. Having to haul a huge toy like this down a fashionable street. Not a moment ago you were actually saying how unfashionable this street was, Takumi. As expected, the delinquent couples and stylish ladies who passed me went by with mocking smiles. Shit, they should all die. Once again, Takumi wishing that all normies must explode. I hunched over single-mindedly and hastened on my way home, internally entertaining fantasies of taking the D-Sword I just bought and slashing about with it in the middle of the road, massacring innocent people, creating a festival of blood. That would really be a very dire delusion if it actually happened. But luckily it didn't. Also very luckily, made it back in one piece. I made it back at last. Partway through I'd broken into a run and had kept at it ever since, so I was breathing hard by the time I'd reached my base. The cold looks from the other pedestrians had really stung. I was impressed with Senna for being able to endure this embarrassment. In a certain sense, it made me respect her. I stood no chance of following in her footsteps. That is very much the truth there, Takumi. And that sound came from within the container. Oh dear, that does not bode well. That essentially means that maybe the shelves were knocked over. But that begs the question of who was actually inside the container to begin with. An abrupt sound came from my blind spot, a place I couldn't see from here in the shadow of my base. Was someone there? Petrified in place, I gulped down my breath. Well, if they are inside, they should, think twice before destroying Takumi Nishijo's shelves of figurines, although I doubt that they're actually going to care that much. The ever so innocent smile of the demon girl who'd called herself Rimi popped into my head. Maybe she'd come again. Maybe this time she'd come to kill me for real. We don't actually quite know her real intentions. What should I do? Should I run? I sensed a presence. The sunset cast someone's shadow across the ground. No matter how I looked at it, the silhouette was female. I instantly readied my D-Sword. I actually held it up like this. It felt even less dependable than I thought. which essentially means that we just wasted 10,000 yen on nothing more than a cheap knockoff. Good job, Takumi. Senna's sword had possessed a mysterious formidability and an overwhelming kind of pressure that refused to let anyone near it. But the D-sword in my hands didn't have anything of the sort. Maybe it really was a fake. I think the words "you think" definitely come to mind. I fight with something like this? I sincerely doubt it. Of course I couldn't. I couldn't do it even if I had the real thing. Plus, I hadn't understood until I tried holding it the way I was now, but it was pretty heavy. Maybe I was gripping it wrong. In any case, it would prove impossible to swing it around properly. Just be grateful. Actually, that's not. I was going to say just be grateful that it isn't a real sword, because you might end up cutting yourself more than cutting anyone else. But since you have a cheap knockoff, that just makes things much worse, because you can't actually attack anything or defend yourself either. The shadow unexpectedly wavered. It was approaching me, and maybe it didn't actually come in from inside. Maybe it was around the back of the container. I squeezed my eyes shut and haphazardly slashed the sword out in front of me. I myself didn't think I'd be able to defeat my opponent that way. Despite that, I harbored the faint hope that as long as I had the sword, I'd be okay. That it'd somehow do something for me. I think that hope is about to be cruelly dashed. I didn't hit anything. My enemy didn't say anything. Could it be that a single strike from my D-sword had utterly destroyed the demon girl? If so, it'd be beyond amazing.
Oni, その剣何?
That is the last voice that Takumi Nishijo would ever have expected to hear on this evening or afternoon. When I opened my eyes, the one standing there was Nanami, rather than the demon girl. She was looking at me a tad derisively. All the strength went out of me at once. I flopped down, right down where I'd been standing. She was the worst little sister ever. It's in horribly poor taste to enjoy freaking out your brother. Who the hell did she think she was? This was why the third dimension would never hold a candle to the second.
別に脅かしてないよ。いつもみたいにお兄の生存確認しに来てあげたんじゃん。なのにお兄いないんだもん。
It's good to know. Next time you could actually try leaving a note on the door.
なんでナナが30分もお兄のこと心配しながら待ってなくちゃいけないわけ？ナナの貴重な時間が無駄に消えてっちゃったじゃん。お兄のバカ。
Yeah, I think Nanami and Takumi have the similar sentiments towards each other. Worrying. She'd been worrying about me? Like I'd be fooled by such an obvious lie.
で、どこ行ってたの？出かけるなんて珍しいじゃん。携帯にかけても繋がんないし。
So she tried to get Takumi on his phone. Huh. I left my phone behind at my base. It wasn't like anyone would call me while I was walking around, so no point in holding on to it.
そもそも、その剣何なの？もしかして買ってきたの？
Nanami gazed curiously at the sword. Well, it was nice knowing you, Takumi.
あ、わかった。アニメのおもちゃかなんかでしょ？ ほんとお兄ってオタクさんだね。
You're not exactly on the right track there, Nanami.
しかもこのおもちゃちっとも似合ってないよ。
Even she's calling it a toy. Hate to break it to you, Takumi, but that hope of yours is very fickle indeed.
さっきだってへっぴり腰で構えちゃってて思い出したら笑えてきた。
You should just be grateful that it actually wasn't a real sword. You could have been seriously hurt. Ignoring Nanami, I undid the lock on the container's door, house door. Sorry, let me read that again. I undid the lock on the container house's door and began to go in, leaving Nanami outside.
ちょっと無視すんな。
帰れ。
If she'd come to check on my survival, she didn't have anything left to do here. She was constantly making fun of me, and every time she came here, all she'd do was complain. But if it bothered her that much, she didn't have to come in the first place. It was a hassle for me as well.
あのね、わざわざ様子見に来てあげてんだからもっとありがたがってよ。せっかくお土産まで持ってきたのに。
Appears that she brought a gift. Nanami spoke sulkily, pouting.
お土産？
そう、お母さんが持ってけって。ほら。
Nanami handed me Clementines. There were about 10 of them, held in red netting. I had mixed feelings about it. About this. I'd eat Clementines if they were there in front of me. They weren't my favorite food or whatever.
というわけで、ナナもちょっと一服したいから一緒に食べてあげる。
帰れ。
That was a little bit more forceful there, Takumi. If only you could maintain that confidence all the time.
もう妹がお土産持ってきて、しかも一緒に食べてあげるって言ってるんだよ。もっと喜びなよ。
What precisely about eating Clementines with Nanami was supposed to make me rejoice? Anyway, it was obvious that she simply wanted to eat Clementines from the start, because she'd been a glutton since we were little. She used to eat up my share too. Who knew how many fights we'd started that way? Probably far too many. Paying no attention to the fact that I didn't want her there, Nanami went on into my base. There was nothing to be done about it, so I followed after her. At least nothing's damaged.
お茶ある？あったかいのがいいな。
As if I would. Basically, I don't drink anything besides Coke. Should probably drink some water from time to time, otherwise you'll get severely dehydrated. Coke's not a very good substitute for that. Nanami sat down on the sofa and immediately pulled out a Clementine. Sighing, I leaned the D-sword up against my computer desk. I didn't need the bangle in my pocket, so I lobbed it.
あれ？それ何？
Quickly spotting the bangle I tossed away at the floor, Nanami picked it up. Seems oddly intrigued by it, despite it being just a roughhouse item.
へえ、かわいいバングルじゃん。
I wouldn't necessarily call it cute myself, but it does have an interesting design. I do like the little snowflake attachment there.
これも買ってきたの？お兄にしてはいいセンス。
Cute, she says. What about it? No matter how I looked at it, it was a piece of kitsch one could buy for the likes of 500 yen. Nanami was the one with bad taste. Disregarding her, I took one of the Clementines and went to sit in front of my PC.
ねえねえ、なんでこれ捨てちゃうの？
だっていらないし。
じゃあさ、これナナにちょうだい。
And just like that, it has been reacquired by Nanami.
は
Takumi is actually somewhat surprised about that, even though he was wanting to get rid of it in the first place.
いいじゃん、どうせしてるならさ。たまにはお兄ちゃんらしく妹にプレゼントの一つでもしてよ。
You call it a present, but it's an unneeded item that you started coveting all on your own.
勝手に持ってけば
But Nanami sees it as a present.
本
So
当？
why not?
やった
One uncontrollable girl. Gotten the go-ahead from me, she put the bangle around her wrist right away. She was a pretty cheap sister to get delighted over such a cheap item. Hee. And, surprisingly enough, it actually fits.
お兄、どう？似合
全然
Of course, Takumi again trying to shoot down Nanami's overjoyed attitude.
う？おっす。お兄のバーカ。
This time, Nanami is having none of it. Now Takumi is the one who has been frustrated. Looks like your plan backfired there. I was supposed to have been giving her a present, wasn't I? So what was it with this treatment? Little sisters weren't supposed to call their brothers stupid. What kind of education have you been receiving, huh? Go play 100 of Rouge. That would actually be a very bad idea.
バーカ。
And Nanami is now playing like the token tsundere. Oh joy. She was grinning perkly. I was getting really pissed off here.
これ気に入っちゃったからもう返さないもんね。
And that is actually going straight into obnoxious territory there.
っていうか、お兄からプレゼントもらうなんて初めてのような気がする。しょうがないから大事にしてあげるよ。
Like I care. No one had asked you to treasure it. I hadn't gotten it for Nanami's sake to begin with.
もう用は済んだんだから帰れ僕は暇じゃないんだ邪魔するな
うん。
The moment I said it, Nanami pursed her lips. This isn't certainly going to end well.
そんな言い方しなくてもいいじゃん。それにみかんまだ食べてないし、お茶もまだ出してもらってないよ。
Well, you're kind of out of luck on the tea front there.
おめえに飲ませるお茶はね
うんか
Nanami glared at me fixedly, his shoulders tense with anger. At last her eyes started to well up.
分かったよ。そんなに邪魔なら帰る。
You might regret those words.
ああさっさと頼む
お兄のバカ。お兄なんてみかんの皮で目つぶし食らって失明しちゃえ。あとバングルは返さないかんね。バカ。
There she goes with the tsundere insults. Yelling in a voice that resounded piercingly throughout the room, Nanami grabbed her bag and bolted out with tremendous energy. That storm-like time had finally come to an end. Hanging out with Nanami had always wore me out. Why did she come here every week when it rubbed me the wrong way so much? Become a bit observant, will you? I think, you might want to take your own advice there. Meanwhile, something else is going on.
ファーストメルトは期待以上の結果に終わりました。
Huh. Now this is a truly ominous situation. 3 men in a dark room and 3 monitors. all of which have the same thing. Nozomi. And we've seen that before, printed on the questionnaire sheet that Takumi had filled out back at the hospital. And we also remember the Nozomi individual, the man in the dark suit that was also there as well during Takumi's checkup. What is this about the first melt? I think we're probably going to learn a bit more.
G レートの上昇率は当初の予測からわずかな誤差があった程度です。
Ah, now this would actually explain the rather shady looking sanitary inspectors. Those people that were clearly not what they claimed to be.
バイオリズムコントロールも順調なのかね。
Biorhythm control. I'm not liking the sound of this at all.
渋谷の G レートは他のエリアと比べて高い値を持っていると同時に安定性についても特筆したものがあります。
Huh. Now, come to think of it, we actually don't know what the G rate is, but these people seem to think that it is very important, which means that we should treat it as being very important.
それゆえに意図的に操作しやすいということか。そして渋谷にいる人々のバイオリズムを急激に引き上げることもまた。
So they're planning to influence the biorhythms of Shibuya's residents. That's not good.
実験結果についてはレポートをご参照ください。納得していただける成果を上げております。
This could possibly be linked to the various new gen incidents, although we don't quite yet have proof of such a connection.
貴様が成果を出すのは当然だ。そのために高い金と多くの人材を提供しているのだからな。
So apparently the two people seated in, behind desks are funding this third man standing in the middle of the room here.
実効性については理解しているよ。この数ヶ月だけでも我が会の信者が数倍に膨れ上がっているからね。
Oh good, they appear to be affiliated with some kind of religious cult following. That makes things so much more fun.
それではプロジェクトノアは次の段階へと進ませます。よろしいですね。
Project Noah. Now that is a name to burn into the forefront of your minds, adventurers, because that is going to be extremely important.
コードサンプルの件はどうするのだ。すでに3人分は確保したとはいえ、目標数値には達しておらんではないか。
いかにも。数値達成のためには最低でも5人分はなければ厳しい。
サンプル保持者は集まりつつあります。あとは採取するのみ。
So whatever they're planning, they're still in the midst of carrying it out.
ならばその件は任せる。
信仰の救いあれ。くれぐれも慎重にことを進めるように。
Well, whatever these people are up to doesn't bode well for the people of Shibuya.
はい、心得ております。
That much is certain. But at least we got a glimpse into the inner workings of Nozomi at long last. And of course back to Ensu.
そろそろ寝るか。
And as Takumi is about to doze off here, this is probably going to be a good time to end this episode of Let's Play ChäoS. And when we return, adventurers, things are only going to get worse from here on out, methinks. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.